you to a battle on Route 45, the Keystone Clash inside Rec Hall as the Bucknell Bison travel just an hour westward to take on the 12th ranked. But they got to win over Oral Roberts, trying to get some momentum going, and head coach Jeremy Young said, you know, this is when you're playing Power 4 opponents, they're going to get kills no matter what, but it's about adapting to their style while also playing your brand of volleyball. It's that balancing act for the Bison.
It really is, and I think for either side, it's just a turning point match. I mean, we're still just getting the feel of the regular season here, but for both sides, it's a must-win game to get their season back on track.
Penn State, number 12 in the country, a 3-3 record, 1-1 at home this year. Bucknell is 1-4. They were 10-2 on the road in games last season.
And Penn State, like you mentioned, dropped that game straight sets to Kentucky at home. They did not lose a single match last season at home, so that was quite the disappointing loss for Penn State fans.
Yeah, especially on their banner-raising night. They had some of the seniors back, but we are about to get things underway once and for all from Happy Valley. Addie Lyon, the starting center, back to serve for the Nittany Lions. Let's rock and roll from Rec Hall. Underneath it's O'Connell. Be a swing from Frazelis. Rinse repeat on the opposite pin. And the first kill goes the way of the Bison in Tiana Kostic. The opposite out of Burr Ridge, Illinois. 1-0 Bucknell.
Bucknell doing a good job to get right off the bat, stay aggressive, and show Penn State that they're going to come out firing.
The 6'1 senior Kostic sends it away. Lyon sets for Caroline Jaravicius, dug up on the back row. Off speed from Fraslitz and beats Lyon on the near side. And Bucknell starts off hot.
The double block there from Maggie Mendelson just wasn't enough, just a little bit over their fingertips. And Bucknell is finding the spots where Penn State is leaving open.
First contact from Selman. A miscommunication that Grimes sends a free ball over. Straight away, rejected by Maggie Mendelson at the net. Now to Rodriguez. Selman out of the back row. Easy dig from Cameron Lloyd. And a block from Mendelson and the freshman Alexis Ewing to get Penn State's first points of the match.
Long rally there. I think both teams are just trying to get a feel of how the other team plays. I mean, they saw them practice, they can watch the film, but it's a little bit different when you come out against them, and so just getting their feet a little bit wet in this match.
There's truly nothing like in-game experience.
There really is not.
Jocelyn Nathan to serve for the Nittany Lions. The junior DS. O'Connell a tough set. Free ball from Riley Tucker. Straight ahead is Mendelson, and the block goes out of play. So Penn State evens it up real quickly with Maggie Mendelson getting on the kill board.
O'Connell and Tucker there just tried to send that ball back over, but just a little bit too harsh of an angle wouldn't go their way.
Mendelson had a very strong match against New Hampshire, really finding some swagger back in the 6'5 middle blocker out of North Ogden, Utah. Swing from Frazelis from a rough spot. Lyon sets for Emmy Selman and gets it down in the back row, and one of our players to watch gets her first kill of the evening, Emmy Selman.
Absolutely, she showed her power on that one. She's able to position the ball really well. She found the corner there, and she knows how to use the court to her advantage. She is a very smart player, and we'll look at where the players are positioned.
A member of the 2024 Big Ten All-Freshman team. She shared that honor at Ohio State with Caroline Jaravicius from Penn State, now playing on the same team. And speaking of Jaravicius, finds the back corner and gives the point to Penn State.
That one was certainly close on the back line, but it was in there. Penn State capitalizing early on the corners.
And of course, if you're Caroline Jaravicius, someone that just likes to swing it full send, playing with that back line can be tough, but she finds the hardwood, finds the line, and finds the kill. Jocelyn Nathan finds the net, so Bucknell will get a point back. That terminates a 4-0 scoring run from the Nittany Lions and brings the libero/outside hitter. Don't see that distinction often on the roster, but Cameron Lloyd, the junior out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, sends it off. Play at the net. And Della Rodriguez tried to slam it, but nobody was home, and Penn State gets a point.
She just had a little bit too much air under that one, not exactly the direction she was going for, and just couldn't find the inside line.
You get that free swing when you're kind of off the overpass. Your eyes get wide, just misjudged it a bit. Here comes this cross court from Frazelis. Good dig from Lyon. Here comes Caroline Jaravicious. Selman keeps it in the air. Can Bucknell get it down this time? No. Tried the same move, and it doesn't go Bucknell's way either time. The swing was by Sydney Schaefer, the middle blocker. Couldn't find the hardwood, found the blue Terraflex, which is out of play.
Good save by Selman there. Her and Grimes really putting together, try to keep those balls from going out of bounds.
Swing from Rodriguez, got it through the block of Hopp and Jaravicious. So Sydney Schaefer, the Patriot League first teamer last season, gets her first kill of the night. Puts Bree Frazelis to serve. 5'10" outside hitter. A lot of returning members on this Bucknell team. That is something that continuity is a great thing, and a violation at the net goes the way of the Bison.
Like you mentioned it, Penn State, a totally different team this year. I mean, the national champions, but they lost a lot of seniors last year. Names like Jess Ruzick and other names out there, Cameron Hanna, and just other names that they need to replace this year.
And a kill from Caroline Jaravicious. Beats Lord on the back line. But back to your point, yeah, Penn State loses a lot of veteran presence, and it's one thing to lose a lot of guys that get kills, that get points on the board, that win you a national championship, but also that senior aspect of a lot of leadership, and some of those players have to step up into those roles.
Absolutely, and Penn State's still trying to figure out early in their season who will be stepping up for them.
A top serve spin from Caroline Jaravicious, but Schaefer gets it down between the block. Don't often see Jaravicious behind the line to serve. Katie Schumacher-Colley putting some trust in her behind the line.
Bucknell is looking really well tonight. I mean, Penn State had a 4-0 scoring run, but Bucknell's keeping it close just because they're behind 1 point. They've been getting the sneaky kills in there that make them difficult to defeat.
Lyon sets for Selman. One-hand punch up by Lloyd. From the midpoint, getting it down is Kostic. Tough angle, doesn't matter, and Bucknell ties it up.
She found that back corner, and like I've said before, that back corner has been dangerous so far today. 3 of the points on the board, finding just the edge for both sides.
At the net, off the slide, Jordan Hopp. The middle blocker gets on the board, and that's a move that she probably learned from Maggie Mendelson last year, but Jordan Hopp doing a lot more in the lateral motion department early on this season for the Nittany Lions.
She has been, and there was a really good angle on that ball. I mean, it was almost at the floor, and there was just nothing Bucknell could do about it.
Having a good slide move is a trait of a very good middle blocker, and Jordan Hopp, a lot of experience, the 6-year senior, the former Iowa State Cyclone. How about another one for number 5 in blue and white? 6'2" out of Alliance, Nebraska, Jordan Hopp has come up with some big moments stepping into that starting middle block, getting the starting nod. Of course, we might see a lot of Gabrielle Nichols as well. How about Alexis Ewing getting her first kill, and Penn State first to double digits?
Almost a free ball there, but she executed that ball so well. She set up the kill perfectly and was able to send it into the floor.
In that game against New Hampshire on Sunday, every healthy player on the Nittany Lions team had some playing time. That included Alexis Ewing, who hit .455 with 6 kills, only 1 error. Giving another kill to Emmy Selman. It's a 4-0 run now for the Nittany Lions, their second such streak. We're not even halfway through set 1 yet.
I feel like there's so many scoring run streaks when Penn State goes to the court. I mean, that's their forte, is putting on the pressure early. And like I say, Bucknell there getting a point. But back to my point, Penn State likes to go on those scoring runs. They like to score as many points as possible in a row to just keep the pressure on their opposing team.
Puts Emily Carney behind the line, the 5'4" sophomore out of Oakton, Virginia, checking into the game for the first time today for the Bison. Awkward set for Selman, leads to an overpass. Hopp off the top of the block, perfectly placed. Jordan Hopp coming alive early on.
Bucknell just tipped that one. Too many hands in the front of the court, nobody in the back. And when they're set up like that, it leads to dangerous for the ball going out of bounds.
Puts Hop at the serving spot. Has an ace on the season. Joust at the net. And it goes the way of the Nittany Lions. Ewing and Mendelson were there, out-muscling the Bucknell front line. They're up 5. Puts Hop behind the line again. Their second season in Happy Valley, and that one is far out of play. The second service error of the early game for Penn State. Currently hitting 625 to Bucknell's 333. Bucknell was giving them a bit of a run for their money a few points ago. Lyon back sets Mendelson. Grimes right there for the dig. Now the opposite ping with Ewing. She get a touch? Yes, she did. And Coach Katie Schumacher-Colley really talked about the development and the evolution of Alexis Ewing in only a few months on campus. And you could see it from her first starts early in the season, game 1, game 2, to now. Almost seems like a different player.
It really does. And as a freshman coming into a national championship winning team, it's not easy. But like we said, Penn State looking for a different change in leadership, and Alexis Ewing coming in firing.
And a block from Mendelson and Ewing again. Flops down, and they extend their lead to 6.
Ewing is playing very experienced. She's disciplined. She knows how to set up her shots on the court, and she's using them.
15-9 Penn State up on the Bison in set 1. We'll be right back after this on Big E. Anything more to say about Katie Schumacher-Colley in her 4th season, a national champion as a player at Penn State and now as a coach, the first D1 women's volleyball coach, female national champion, an 87-22 record with her time in Happy Valley at the helm of the program.
She did such great work last year. She really knew how to coach the team that she had. She had very experienced players, but sometimes they would not know how to work together, and I think that's one of the things that she does best, is melding the players together with their strengths and putting together a full force team. Yeah,
despite any turnover in Penn State, a lot of the coaches that we've talked to have just said at the end of the day they're going to be well coached. And a big swing, a big punch from Bree Frazelis. So out of the timeout, Bucknell gets a point.
And Jeremy Young coming in, I mean, he is just trying to get his second win under his belt. But he did get his first, and he comes into the Lions' den literally to try to get that second one.
A prior assistant with the team as well, so does have experience with this Bucknell squad. Swing from Jaravicious, splits the block, kept up in the back row by O'Connell. And at the net, Maggie Mendelson, Alexis Ewing, and that run.
They are just a dynamic duo. I mean, they go up to the net, and more times than not, they are able to execute that block quite well.
Especially when you have a freshman and a senior working together, shows a more chemistry from the top down, that everyone is equal regardless of if you've been at Penn State for 4 years or just 4 months. Swing from Frazelis and the block out of play. Good setup from Jaravicious and Mendelson, just can't get it down on the hardwood.
And I'd say you don't see that often. I mean, it's not rare that a freshman is on the starting squad, but to have a senior and a freshman working together, especially on a team that was so experienced, is a little bit uncommon.
Tough serve from Lloyd. Selman tries to go campfire, but recycled by Frazelis. Off-speed swing from number 10, Rodriguez. Selman tried to go cross-court, no touch.
Selman had a good tip on that earlier in the point, but just when it came to push comes to shove, she just missed the execution down the line.
Selman not really too big in the error department, but has struggled at times to get the points, only hitting 172 on the season. Maggie Mendelson, though, big swing, big power. Another point for the blue and white.
She is really coming out firing today. Her block game, she's been all over that ball, it seems, and she's just coming out so aggressive.
This is the middle blocking unit that really seems to have gotten more diverse in their skill sets. Doesn't matter off the slide, straight away, double block, solo stuff. Doesn't matter. Selman looking for the touch, and again, doesn't get it. Penn State That was a point that Jeremy Young, talking with us before the game, said I want to try to feed the middles more, get them more involved, become a more well-rounded unit. Service error for Bucknell, though, gets a point back for the Nittany Lions.
That's their first service error of the match so far. But going back to your point there, I mean, Bucknell strengthening their middle is really important when going up against such a tough team like Penn State to try to eliminate any sort of room or weakness that they may have had in their previous matches.
They were outblocked by UNC 9-7 in their loss down in North Carolina, an invitational they were playing. So they do have some Power 4 experience this year. They played both UNC and Iowa State, ironically enough, Jordan Hopp's former team, out of the Big 12. Penn State currently up 4, make it up 5 with another Nittany Lions service, or Bucknell service error. So Bucknell calls a timeout. We'll take one as well here in set number 1. Penn State up 5 on the Bison. Back at you from Rec Hall. Penn State up 19-14 in set 1 on the Bison. Jack Raczynski alongside Ali Winskowski. Penn State all-time against Bucknell. 8-0, the first time in modern rally scoring that these two teams are playing. And a little fact about the last time these two teams played, September 6, 2000. And who led the way for Penn State in kills? Some outside hitter named Katie Schumacher. I wonder what she's up to these days.
Sounds a little bit familiar. I think you can find her there standing over by the Penn State bench, but I'm not quite sure.
I think you might be right. Yes, it is Penn State's head coach. Went 8 for 13 that day. No errors, so she was on fire that day.
Impressive.
Good stuff. Bucknell gets a kill out of the timeout. Cuts it to a 4-point lead as Riley Tucker, and Emily Carney go back in. Riley Parker was on St. Francis men's basketball last year, so I'm getting my names mixed up.
Happens to the best of us, but also notable in terms of these two teams' matchups. They first played in 1976, but Penn State has lost just 2 sets against Bucknell ever, coming in the first ever match between the two teams in that 1976 match.
Selman gets another kill. Penn State all-time 41-1 against teams in the Patriot League. They lost one time. That was back in 1979 against Navy, the first year under head coach Russ Rose. And we know what happens if you're a Penn State fan. 7 national championships under his helm as Bucknell gets a kill off the touch. So Bucknell down 4, but definitely staying with Penn State at this point. Something that New Hampshire was kind of unable to do. They lost one of their sets to Kentucky, 25-5. Really took them for the third set against Penn State to get even. As Alexis Ewing finds the back row, her accuracy just getting better week in and week out.
It really is, and that back row really has been a strength of Penn State so far in this match. They're finding the holes in Bucknell's defense and driving the ball as hard as they can there.
To put Addie Lyon behind the line. Her third game as the starting setter. And she gets an ace right out of it. So first ace for either side comes off the hands of Addie Lyon, the former St. Louis Billikid. Now in a big role, replacing Izzy Stark, who stepped away from the team to prioritize her mental health. So Lyon, third start, she'll send it into the net. As the announcement came prior to the game against Kentucky on Friday. And of course, Katie Schumacher-Colley really impressed with what Addie Lyon's been able to do. Of course, a very experienced setter and one that she has a lot of faith in to captain the team in any facet.
Definitely the grad student. She's a transfer from St. Louis, but she came in, and again, we talk about leadership for either side. She came in knowing that it's now her time to be a leader in that position.
Grimes sets for Jaravicius, won't get the touch. It's kind of a wonky spot. Tried to get it down to no avail, so still a 4-point lead, but Bucknell unable to really break that buffer. Penn State just 3 away from gaining a set 1 victory. Selman shoves it forward, and Mendelson gets the kill. That really didn't even break a sweat for her that time.
a quick little shovel, just touch, I would say, over the net. Got her where she needed, and it just can. It's any play like that can cause some confusion if there's not players in the proper placements.
And we've talked to players in the past that say sometimes the slow speed stuff is what gets you, because there's some motion, some spin that you can't do with a fastball. As Nathan sends one to the net, Bucknell gets one back.
And it just changes the speed of play. I mean, both sides just are so used to hard-hit balls and trying to defend all their corners and the outside of things. But when you have a well-placed just little nick over the net, can cause some trouble.
Yeah, last year, Katie Schumacher-Cole only had 2 players permitted by her to do even a top serve spin when serving. But it didn't matter. The leader in aces was Jillian Grimes, not always the fastest server. It really doesn't matter. It's like throwing your curveball out there. Selman shoves it forward. There was a punch over by Tarja. Back set from line to Caroline Jaravicious. Brings up set point for the Nittany Lions.
And one of the longer rallies in this match so far. I mean, Bucknell showing they can stay with it. And having 19 points on the board shows that, but now they need to defend their home side of the court.
Bucknell has 10 kills. Penn State 18 with that one for number 14, Caroline Jaravicious. And set one ends on a Jillian Grimes ace. Penn State takes set number 1, 25-19. And we'll take a break here on Big Ten Plus. Set 2 coming up next from Happy Valley.
Say a lot of things went right for Bucknell. I mean, they stayed in it. It was never like Penn State was leading by so many. I mean, take a look at the stats here, Jack, but I mean, close, honestly.
You had to break a few sweats if you're Katie Schumacher-Cole and the Nittany Lions. Penn State definitely looked like the more dominant team, but there were at times Bucknell tied it.
7-7.
Yeah, we'll see if you got one set under your belt. Does Bucknell come out fighting a bit more now?
And Bucknell, they do have less errors on their side and attack errors, but Penn State also leads in kills by 8. They had 18 kills, Bucknell compared to Bucknell's 10. So, I mean, they're going to come out firing. Penn State has the momentum as we switch the sides of the court after the first set, but we'll see what happens in set 2.
Leading the way on both sides, Tiana Kostic in the kill department for Bucknell with 4, Bree Frazelis with 3. 3 players share 4 kills on the side of Penn State, Caroline Jaravicious, Maggie Mendelson, and the freshman Alexis Ewing fitting very well in her first ever collegiate start.
Absolutely, and 5 players in total. I mean, you have those 3, excuse me, with 4, and then you have Jordan Hopp and Emmy Selman with 3 apiece. So it really has been a total team effort for the Nittany Lions with 5 players in that kill category.
And that's not even the amount of players that Penn State trusts in themselves to put on the court. So against New Hampshire, yes, it was in set 3. Every healthy player had some role in that game, got some playing time. So it's a very deep team, even with the turnover from last year to this year.
It really is, and I think that's one of Penn State's biggest things this year. Like I said earlier, they're trying to find their gel together to come together as a team.
Jaravicious first swing, first kill of set number 2. A classic, Caroline Jaravicious. Swing for point number 1 of set number 2.
Shows off her power once again, now leading that kill category and also in second in total attacks.
Jaravicious bouncing back with an 8-kill game against New Hampshire, hitting .375. He hit in the negatives in both games at PPG Paints Arena against ranked Arizona State and TCU. Penn State losing those games in 4 and 5 sets respectively. And Bree Frazelis evens it up at 1.
Penn State just couldn't hold on to the block there. Good attempt on their side, but just the angle headed over to the scorer's table.
Kostic with a floaty serve. Selman takes a swing. Kept off the block from Bucknell. Out of the back row. Kostic in the air from Grimes. Lyon sets for Selman. Cross court. Great kill from Selman, but better set from Addie Lyon going cross court from back corner to front corner.
It really was a great set by her. I mean, just set it up so perfectly, and a good setter can be a key to a really good team.
Ava Faldudo serves it off, puts some heat on it. Tucker has to back up. Selman again. Under it's Lloyd. Comes Frazelis. Grimes to her knees. Lyon back to Selman, and that connection's starting to gel pretty well.
It really is, and I mean, we're just seeing the speed, the angle, all the execution for Selman on it. She's finding her groove in this match specifically, coming up firing and being able to paint those lines.
And Selman's one that gets kills in volume. She had 16 against Kansas, but only hit 111 in that game. The Jayhawks did a good job of holding her own as Penn State does get a touch, and they go on a 4-0 scoring run.
Jocelyn Nathan, I mean, she came out diving. I just can't believe that she made it to that ball, and she was able to help her team get another point. 3
DSs on the court for Penn State. They call themselves the fun size group because, well, for their size, but also because they're just a lot of fun to watch if you're a Penn State volleyball fan.
They absolutely are. But as someone short myself, you know, we are fun size, I would say. It's more fun that way.
Puts Lloyd behind the line after the kill from Frazelis. Getting back on topic. Hop with the first contact, and then a back set from Lyon to Hop. And as much as we could talk about the hitters, also talking about the setter role, Addie Lyons is a lot more comfortable in this system in Game 3 of getting the chunk of the start.
She really is. I mean, you can see it in just the way she moves around the court. I think she has a little bit more confidence, and that only comes from playing in more sets, more matches, and just getting a little bit more comfortable with setting up for your teammates.
Frazelis backs up underneath. It's Faldudo. Out of the back row, Emmy Selman. Did she find the hardwood? Oh, yes, she did. And everyone seems to be finding their rhythm on this Nittany Lion team.
They really do, and Emmy Selman came back after that shot, all smiles, yelling so happily. I think Penn State's finding their groove, and they're bringing the confidence with it.
As a freshman, she was 3rd on Ohio State in kills last year. Her time in Columbus, Bree Frazelis ends the scoring run, though, with kill number 5 for her. She leads the Bison side.
Ava Faldudo ran back to try to get to that ball, just a couple miles out of reach for her, but a good effort on that dive.
Those DSs can make up a lot of time, though.
They can. They're speedy.
They are very speedy. Frazelis after the kill, serves it, lands out of play. Selman wisely letting it go on the far side. And now Lexi Jin and Gabrielle Nichols, 2 of the freshmen, check in. Jin, the DS, goes back to serve. Gabrielle Nichols, the freshman middle blocker. So puts Jin, Selman, Faldudo, Ewing, Nichols, and Lyon. The Penn Staters on the court. Back set for Schaefer, got rejected by Lyon and Ewing. That's another trait of a good outside hitter, is being able to do well in the blocking department as well. Don't be one-dimensional. And Alexis Ewing is building her toolbox game by game.
She really is. It definitely helps to be versatile, especially when you're up at the net. I mean, because when that ball comes, you have to be able to defend your side.
O'Connell tried the setter dump. Unsuccessful. Ewing looks for a touch and got it. Alexis Ewing, 6 for 6, no errors.
Alexis Ewing's having a game.
Having herself a night in Happy Valley. As we see a sub for Bucknell, Caitlin Taylor and Laura Caro coming into the game. So Coach Jeremy Young trying some new players out. Caro playing in her 52nd match in her 3rd year. The New York City native. Jin sends it off. Taking a swing is Taylor from the midpoint. Faldudo parallel the ground. Keeps it up. Nichols with a swing. Rodriguez off speed. Another dig from Faldudo. Lyon tries to terminate it. Gets the kill. How about that from Addie Lyon? Teamwork makes the dream work for Penn State. They're the first to double digits.
And that's the motto of their season so far. I mean, on that play, Ava Faldudo goes flying not once, but twice to save that ball, and it works out for her.
I don't even want to think about what my knees would feel like after that. Jin sends it long, but a 4-0 scoring run before that for Penn State. Just so many things going right. This team gaining a lot of their confidence back, it seems.
It really is, and I think that is the key in this match for the Nittany Lions. Is season may not be going as well as you had hoped so far, but it's time to reset, get back on track. Still very early in the season for both sides.
It's preseason for a reason. Selman out of the back row. Comes Taylor, looking for a touch at the net. And responding is Taylor and Schaefer. The middle blocker and outside hitter going against Addie Lyon, who is 5'9". That's one, if you want to say a drawback, just the height advantage at the net. Lyon trying to fight off the double block from Bucknell, unsuccessful.
Really difficult. Bucknell doing a good job to read that ball and get up the block exactly where they needed to.
Lyon sets for Ewing. That's her first attack error of the night. So makes it a 3-0 scoring run for the Bison, going the other way now. But hey, if that's going to be your first attack error and we're almost halfway through set 2, you're a freshman, you're taking that every day of the week.
You absolutely are, but that is a category that Penn State needs to work on. They have 7 attack errors so far tonight compared to Bucknell's 3.
Give it to Gabrielle Nichols on the kill. The freshman 6'2" out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, had 2 blocks and 2 kills against New Hampshire. Despite winning the Big Ten or being co-champions in the Big Ten and winning the national championship, was only 7th in the Big Ten last year in blocks per set, and give Addie Lyon an ace that lands about halfway up the near grandstands.
3rd service ace for Penn State, and a strong one at that.
Grimes ended set 1 with an ace, and now Lyon has 2 to her name. Penn State up 6. Trying to go up 2-0 in the match. Rolls at the net, and a point goes the way of the Nittany Lions.
A tip like that, just so difficult to defend, trying not to touch the net while also defending the court. So.
And Jeremy Young wants to talk things over. We'll step aside here on Big Ten Plus Everything. Coming up, blue and white inside Rec Hall. Penn State up 13-6 on top of Bucknell in set number 2, currently on a 3-0 scoring run. And up 1-0 in the match. Jack Raczynski alongside Allie Wenskowski. And Allie, a big part of this has been Alexis Ewing, the freshman, hitting 7-14, 6 for 7 with only 1 error to her name.
She has been looking stellar. She's tied for leading Penn State in the kill category, and we show you why. I mean, she is just such power to her name, and like you said, only a freshman, so much time left in her Penn State career.
6'4" out of Bethesda, Maryland, and there's her dad. You might recognize the last name. It's Patrick Ewing in the building, the #1 overall pick in the 1985 NBA draft by the New York Knicks. His number 33 retired in the rafters at Madison Square Garden, also a national champion in basketball with the Georgetown Hoyas back in 1984. Another tough serve from Addie Lyon. Kostic tries to go cross court. Back to Alexis Ewing on the line, looking for a touch, won't get it that time. Ends a 3-0 run for the Nittany Lions. Bucknell cuts the lead to 6 here.
And back to Patrick Ewing for just a second. I mean, 2 Olympic gold medals to his name. What kind of pressure does that set for his daughter and also the rest of just everyone playing?
Look at Caroline Jaravicius' dad, Joe Jaravicius, a Super Bowl champion.
Super common.
With the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's a lot of hardwood, a lot of hardware in the Nittany Lion families on the volleyball side. And, of course, everyone on the team last year getting their Big Ten champion and national championship rings, which looked very nice. And you know what else looked nice? That kill from Gabrielle Nichols.
It absolutely did. And some awesome genetics also for the blue and white.
Yes. puts Ewing behind the line. As Patrick Ewing also came back to his alma mater to coach at Georgetown from 2017 to 2023. Tough serve. Ball hits sky high. Lloyd has to just send the free ball. Backing up is Grimes. Jaravicius, far side. Dig from Caro. At a wonky angle was Caitlin Taylor, and it hit the antenna. Being really pressured by the Penn State offensive attack, getting Bucknell flat-footed.
And Penn State starting to pull away here. I mean, this is a bigger lead than they had in the first set, showing that they have some extra confidence after winning set 1. And now, big 15-7 lead in this one.
Swing from Kostic, set back by Nichols and Caroline Jaravicius.
Make it 16.
Make it 16. A 9-point lead of the Nittany Lions, hitting 294 in this set. Bucknell, currently blanked, are now hitting in the negatives. 083. Ewing tries to flirt with the line, can't do it. That's the risk you run, trying to touch that back line. So Bucknell gets one back, and she'll check out Jocelyn Nathan coming in. And everyone on the Nittany Lion bench high-fiving and giving some yells to Alexis Ewing, and rightfully so. Caitlin Taylor to serve it off. Her 23rd match in 3 years for the Bison. Sends it long on the service error, puts Penn State up 9.
Back-to-back service errors for both sides, and we're just switching who's on the serve at this point.
O'Connell checks in for Bucknell, puts Jillian Grimes back to serve, who with that ace now has had aces in 6 of the last 7 games, and 9 on the season total. Awkward placement from Riley Tucker, doesn't matter. Bucknell gets to 9. Riley Tucker, the junior out of Clemens, North Carolina, had 7 blocks in that 4-set win over Oral Roberts. The team had 10 total. They were 4th in the Patriot League last year in blocks per set. Give another kill to Jordan Hopp.
Penn State just spreading around the love. I mean, they have now 8 players who have kills.
And that includes Addie Lyon, who you don't really expect to get kills. In her spot, she has 1. Nichols has 2. Mendelson and Jaravicius 4 apiece. Hopp with 5. And then Selman and Alexis Ewing having themselves really solid outings. 6 hits apiece, 6 kills apiece. Valdudo sends it way long. And Penn State tells her just to shrug it off. 18-10, set 2. Penn State up 1-0 in the match. So glad you could be with us here on Big Ten Plus. Cameron Lloyd sending it back, tough receive. Addie Lyon, center dump. Doesn't matter, she's 5'9", she can get it over the net, at the net. Addie Lyon, kill number 2 for her.
Addie Lyon looking really strong on that. Look at that, this replay. I mean, she came in, just dunked it right over, a little Dunkin' Donuts.
Here from Happy Valley, Jack Ratinsky alongside Allie Winskowski here on Big Ten Plus in a Keystone clash between Penn State and Bucknell. The Nittany Lions up 19-10 on the Bison and up 1-0 in the match, trying to go up 2-0. Penn State, of course, ranked 12th in the nation right now. They started the season number 2. Nebraska, their Big Ten foe, number 1. Preseason, still number 1. Taking a look at some of the other teams, Arizona State beat Penn State at Pittsburgh. They are now 9th. TCU started 25th. They're now 15th. And, of course, Pitt, number 7 in the nation. Penn State plays them on Wednesday.
Definitely going to be an interesting matchup, and Penn State fell quite a bit. They were ranked 5 last week and fell after a little bit of trouble in the schedule, but they're having no trouble tonight.
Also noting no Kennedy Martin tonight as well, thinking about they're going to go up in that battle with Olivia Babcock, 2 of the best hitters in the country, full stop. Penn State goes up 10. Kennedy Martin had 7 kills against New Hampshire. The first time in her collegiate career she had less than double-digit kills in a game.
Which is so impressive.
That's insane. As a junior, too.
Yeah.
So 2 full years of double-digit kills right off the bat. How about that nasty roof from Hopp and Ewing?
Penn State just looking really solid there. I mean, they're killing it in the block category. That's their 5th. Bucknell only having 1 block on the night.
Another 3-0 run for the blue and white. Selman behind the line. Sends it over to the far side. Swinging is Schaefer, rejecting is Jordan Hopp. Penn State up 12 and creeping in on that set 2 victory.
Like we said all set, Penn State finding their confidence, finding their gel as a team in this match so far.
Penn State hitting .423 on the match, and this is a Bucknell team that last year was 2nd in the entire nation in opponent hitting percentage, only behind Creighton, who Penn State beat in the Elite 8, holding opponents to just 132 hitting on the whole season. Bucknell, of course, last year, their best winning percentage in school history, 21-5, 13-3 in conference play, fell to Army in a 5-setter in the Patriot League semifinals. Selman serves again. Rodriguez has to find her footing. Alexis Ewing gets blocked, but out of play. Kill number 8 for number 27 in blue and white. She leads both sides in the kill department.
Now we're going to set point for Penn State. They crept on this quite quickly.
Up by 14, a dominant set from the Nittany Lions on a 6-0 scoring run currently. Swing from Rodriguez, under it's Jillian Grimes. Out of the back row for Selman, gets it down. Penn State goes up 2-0 in the match on a 7-0 scoring run to end it. That was some impressive stuff from the Penn State Nittany Lions.
It certainly was. They show their confidence, they show their gel, and they show why last year they were national champions.
A 25-10 set 2 win. Set 3 coming up right after this. Don't you dare go anywhere. You're watching. Going from the Nittany Lions in set 2, they win it 25-10. They're up 2-0 in the match. Jack Raczynski, Ali Winskowski bringing you all the action from Happy Valley as Penn State takes on their rivals in Lewisburg in the Bucknell Bison, and a just dominant performance from Penn State.
It really was, and they were able to limit Bucknell as well. I mean, after the first set, we looked at those kill totals. It was 18-10 on the Bucknell side, so Bucknell just 3 kills in that second set. And when we were talking during the break, only took about 20 minutes.
444 for the match is also just an incredible number. And looking at some of the hitting percentages, Alexis Ewing, just a freshman, 8 kills on 10 attacks, hitting .600. Jordan Hopp, batting 1,000, 5 for 5. Emmy Selman, .312. Maggie Mendelson, .571. Gabrielle Nichols even, only 3 swings, but hitting .677. This is a Penn State team just being so efficient on the court.
They really are. They're limiting those errors, which I think is really important to do, especially when you have a team that spreads the kills across the board. You try to limit that as much as you can, and like you said, very efficient. Bucknell also now has 5 players that have hit that kill with at least 1.
Yeah, and Bucknell hit -111 for that second set. And also holding Sydney Schaefer, a first-teamer in the Patriot League last year and the year before the Patriot League Rookie of the Year, to -250.
I mean, the numbers speak to themselves. She has just 1 kill on the match so far, 4 total attempts, 2 errors. So like you said, a lot of negatives in the Bucknell category. Will they come out with some fire, or will Penn State just continue their dominance in the second set? I mean, they ended that second set on a 7-0 scoring run.
Rec call is buzzing, and I know some people aren't numbers guys, but the numbers don't lie there. That Penn State is putting on a clinic against the Bison, trying to get in some rhythm, of course, playing their heated in-state rival in Pitt on Wednesday. And then Big Ten play, it's only 2.5 weeks away, playing USC in Rec Hall. They're also currently ranked. That game you can also catch here on Big Ten Plus, that Friday night showdown between one of the newer members of the Big Ten Conference. Tapped over is Tucker. Back set, Mendelson finding the cross-court hardwood.
Jack, you need a free ball because it was coming for you.
I was talking with Jeremy Young before, and we happened to do our little chit-chat while they were pin practicing. I was trying to get the reflexes ready. I know Michael Soroti, one of our Big Ten Plus announcers here, caught a ball, straight out of the air against New Hampshire. I'm going to try to one-up him if I can. Not going to push it, though. I don't want to push my luck. As Riley Tucker gets another kill for herself. That's kill number 3 on her 5th attack.
I don't think it's finders keepers if you do get a ball.
It's
I think
not.
you have to give it
My
back.
backpack's big enough. Do you think they'll check it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the evidence.
Don't snitch on me. Swing from Ewing. Under it's Lloyd. And play at the net. O'Connell got her finger in the net. So we'll go the way of Penn State. Up 2-1 early on in set 3, looking for the sweep.
And that was something Penn State said they had to work on last year, if you can believe they had anything to work on last year, was getting out in front of sets. Because a lot of times they would let their opponents kind of control the beginning. But this time they're doing a good job in this set number 3 to start things off. And as I say that, we're tied.
Alexis Ewing on a service error, but yeah, that was kind of that midpoint of Big Ten play where Penn State was dropping a lot of silly sets to teams that they're ultimately better than, teams that they honestly should have swept. Lloyd sends it off, tough pressure, dig from Lyon, Jaravicius, an awkward attack. Kostic out of the back row, shoved forward by Grimes. Lyon tried to pancake, couldn't do it. Bucknell has their first lead of any set.
Just a little bit too much room in the middle of the court there, and we saw that a lot with Bucknell earlier in this match as well. They were focusing on kind of defending the middle of the court, but sometimes just that dead center is really a dead zone.
Lloyd goes way off speed. Nichols shoves it through. Frazelis. Mendelson into the net. Tried to challenge the block of Schaefer and Frazelis. Couldn't do it that time, so the Bison go up 2.
Mendelson playing a little soccer there once the ball had hit the ground, trying to kick it back up over to Bucknell's side.
Well, she is playing basketball this year for Penn State. I don't think she's playing soccer, though. Maybe we can get Caitlin McBean on a volleyball court, though.
Be
Who
awesome.
knows? That would be cool. Nathan in the back row. Mendelson gets redemption for that kill. Cuts the lead to 1. Maggie Mendelson with her 6th kill on her 12th attack with 1 error to her name. Ends a 3-0 scoring run from Bucknell. So Mendelson now hitting .455. Also has 2 blocks to her name as Nathan sends it into the net.
And as you mentioned it, Mendelson, I mean, she's trying out her 2nd sport, which is really going to be interesting in the winter months. And good for her that she shows that she can play another one.
Yeah, played basketball and volleyball during her time at Nebraska. Didn't play on the team last year. But now back to a 2-sport athlete for Maggie Mendelson, and Jaravicius sent back. But it will go down as a kill as there was a net violation.
Those plays at the net just so difficult when you're so close to the net to try not to touch it, especially when all your momentum's going forward to try to almost, I don't even know, try to get your backside to just not touch the net.
I can't do that.
It's a really hard position.
Off the slide, Schaefer sent back. A solo stuff from Caroline Jaravicius, and again, a lot of players, they get sent back one time, they get the kill the next, and we're back tied at 5. Valdudo behind the line to serve. Was 2nd on the team in aces last year with 34. Behind her fellow DS and Jillian Grimes. Rodriguez from the 10-foot line. Hop. Off the antenna goes the way of the Bison.
That antenna has caused a couple problems today for both sides.
It sneaks up on you.
It does.
Behind the line is Bella Rodriguez, the sophomore out of San Antonio. Jaravicius again. Gets roofed by Schaefer and O'Connell.
And we're back at tied. I feel like this set has been the closest, I mean, in terms. We saw them tied at 7-7 in the first set, but then, I mean, that Penn State 25-10 victory in the second one.
That was just like the New Hampshire game as well. The Wildcats were the strongest in set number 3. Took them a bit to get hot, but they got there. Sending it way long is Kostic, and Penn State now back in the lead.
I feel like that's the case a lot of times. I mean, these two teams, they haven't played each other before, so obviously the first set is just trying to feel each other out, and then by the time you get to the third set, you understand how either side plays, so you're a little bit more comfortable.
From the perspective of a mid-major coach, as Alexis Ewing gets the kill, is that when you're playing those Power 4 opponents, the two things that I've seen from all the coaches that we've talked to is the speed and the physicality. That's something that you have to get used to. And it's an aspect that a lot of those mid-major teams, they accept that they're going to have to deal with. They have to adapt if they want to survive. And Jordan Hopp gets a kill off the punch down. So now Penn State's starting to get more comfortably out in front, up 3 in set number 3.
They really are. Just a little bit of a tip off of O'Connell. It just tipped backwards, not forwards like intended. And like you said, Penn State starting to get a little bit of a feel.
Just as we say that, Selman throws it long.
It's the announcer's curse.
Yes, it's a game that swings. The pendulum goes back and forth and ends a 4-0 score and run for the Nittany Lions. Emily Carney now back in as the serving sub, appearing in her 9th career match as a Bucknell Bison in her sophomore campaign in Lewisburg. And it goes down as a service error. Ava Faldudo wisely lets it track out of play. So now Nichols checks in, puts the middle blocker Jordan Hopp behind the line. Penn State has 4 aces to Bucknell's 1, 3 of them coming at the hands of Addie Lyon. But Hopp does have an ace on the season. There's contact from Kostic, she'll get the swing. And no one was behind Lyon and Nichols on the block. So they'll cut the lead to 2.
Bucknell looking strong. They're not letting Penn State sweep them away. They're right in it, just like set 1 they were.
Bucknell was first in the Patriot League in limiting opponent kills per set. Won't stop Emmy Selman, though, that time. Again, out of the back row. Really seeing what Kenny Martin has done this year. It's kind of those back row attacks. Just good luck stopping it.
Yeah, good luck, like you mentioned. In Penn State, that's a category they're really pulling away in. They have 38 kills on the match compared to Bucknell's just 15.
Emmy Selman was second among the Big Ten freshmen in kills per set last year. Attack error from Bucknell gives Penn State a 4-point advantage. Puts Lyon behind the line, we mentioned. She got 3 service aces, has a block to her name, has 2 kills, has 27 assists. She's really done it all tonight. Trying to gel into her new role, she'll skin the net tape. Frasless off speed, punched up by Mendelson. Dig from Selman. And there's a ball, there's a pencil flying. Michael Cerrone, I'm sorry, I can't one-up you. That was not my finest hour.
I saw it bouncing. It bounced off of our
Where did my
screen.
pencil go?
You can borrow my pen. Thank you.
Thank you for one of our photographers behind us. Maggie Mendelson gets the kill. Let's get back on track. Who says broadcasting isn't a full contact sport? So puts Ewing behind the line for Penn State. It'll be very fitting for her to get an ace here. She's got 5 blocks, 8 kills, hitting .545. In her breakout game as a freshman on this Nittany Lions squad, she'll send it into the net. So Bucknell gets the double digits. So check out, Jocelyn Nathan comes in for Ewing. Nathan 4 digs on the night.
Nathan's been showing off her speed, kind of flying all over the court, and a couple of Penn State players have done that tonight.
Nathan really jumping into an elevated role last year, kill from Gabrielle Nichols, but back to Jocelyn Nathan. Started a lot of matches early on. Her career high in digs was against Louisville in the national championship game. Stepped up in some crucial moments in a lot of games that could have gone either way, but Penn State was able to survive, thrive, and win their 8th national title.
When you're going to have your career best, no better time than the championship game.
Frasless tried to go cross court, a little bit too far. That happened for quite a lot of teams. There are quite a lot of players like Caroline Jerovicich's career high in kills in that semifinal game against Nebraska, her former team. A lot of Nittany Lions, though, had to step up in the clutch moments, We'll step aside as Penn State's up 5 in a set 3. They want to try and finish off the sweep in. Global 10 Network's Student U program. It's an on-campus experience that is unique to the Big Ten. Student U is a part of an educational mission to teach the next generation of sports production professionals. For more information, visit big10network.com/StudentU. Great work from all of our camera crews and broadcast operators around Rec Hall and around Happy Valley. Jack Raczynski alongside Allie Winskowski. So glad you could spend your Tuesday night with us in State College. Penn State just 10 points away from taking a much-needed sweep over the Bucknell Bison, trying to go back above 500. First time in the Katie Schumacher-Cauley era that they were under 500 in their career following their sweep by Kentucky. Schaefer, Frazelis tries to empty Harwood. Great dig from Jocelyn Nathan. Mendelson cross court. Back to Jaravicius. Pushes it through. Frazelis got the hot hands and got the kill.
Bucknell did a great job in that rally to just keep control of the ball. They never sent it over just to send it over. They had a really harsh attack every single time. And when you do something like that, Penn State was just on their toes trying to defend, not exactly looking for the attack.
Bucknell still hitting in the negatives in this set. Almost an ace for Peyton McGee that's checked into the game. Schaefer off the slide. Got the hands of Jaravicius and got the kill. So back-to-back points out of the timeout. The Bison cut the lead to 3. So it's Peyton McGee again serving, the setter/opposite out of Norfolk, Virginia. The 5'9" freshman had 2 aces in their match against Eastern Illinois. As the Rec Hall crowd gets loud. There's some things they're checking over. On the ref side are referees Chuck Fleet and Kurt Fulmer, and she will get the ace. The Bucknell starting a bit of a run here.
They really are. Second service ace for them all match. The first one coming in the first set, so they're building some momentum here, trying to climb their way back.
Jaravicius with a swing. Powerful cross court sent over on the free ball from Rodriguez. Catherine Burks checked into the game. She had a swing. And Bucknell sends it long, so Penn State gets back up 3. And talking about the continuity for Bucknell, they returned their top 8 players last year in terms of kills. That is a lot of continuity from one year to the next.
It really is, and it allows them to continue their experience, continue that gel that they have as a team. It means that they can work together really well. They're really aware of each other and what their strengths are.
Big swing from Jaravicius, dug up by Lloyd. And Grimes couldn't handle it on the back row. So off the touch, Bucknell gets another kill, cuts it to 2. They're not going down without a fight.
They really aren't. They went on a 3-0 scoring run before that Penn State point that made it 16 for Penn State. So they're coming back here, keeping it within 2 like you mentioned, and keeping the pressure on Penn State in their home court.
Sky Bettino checked out for Tia Kostic. Dig from Addie Lyon. Jaravicius from the midpoint got sent back, and Nathan couldn't keep it in the air. Bucknell really locking in for these last few points.
They really are, and their huddle just screams it all as they're yelling happiness and encouragement for their teammates to just get another one, get another point on the board.
Next Bucknell point would tie it. But Caroline Jaravicius says no way. Penn State back up 2.
Bucknell just didn't have the angle on that. We've seen that a couple times tonight where the ball is either going around the net or just falls a little bit short on the corner.
Alexis Ewing and Emmy Selman check back in. Selman behind the line. And give her an ace. The 5th of the match for Penn State. comes at a good time to try to swing the momentum back in their favor and finish off the sweep if they can.
First service ace for that, and it's just the little things like that, a service ace here or a big play that can bring the confidence and momentum back.
O'Connell tried the center dump, was sent back by Catherine Burke. Selman has to push it forward off the jump. Lyon tries the center dump. A lot of push play here at the net. Ewing goes for the big swing. Dug up by Rodriguez. Lyon to Selman. Good rally from both sides. Schaefer off the slide. Selman with the play. Burke tries the solo swing. Now to Ewing at the pin. Again kept up. Kostic tries to end it and does. The long rally goes the way of the Bison. And everyone on the Bucknell bench comes up and gives a cheer.
Super long rally, and Bucknell's able to come out on top. They kept their composure all the way through. I mean, you look at this replay here, Penn State just couldn't get to that ball in the center of the court. And earlier in the play, Cameron Lloyd came out diving, saving one of the hardest hit balls we've seen tonight to make that happen.
Winning longer rallies is usually a sign of a more experienced team. Selman commits an attack error, her third of the game. Off 8 kills, and Penn State will call a timeout. Up 1 in set 3. So we'll step aside here on Big Ten Plus from Rec Hall. Penn State calls their first timeout of the game. They're up by 1 in a set 3. They're trying to finish the sweep of the Bucknell Bison off of Jack Rachinsky alongside Allie Winskowski. So glad you could spend your Tuesday night with us here on Big Ten Plus from Rec Hall. And Allie, what have you seen right from Bucknell in those last few points?
Bucknell has really kept it together. I think they've kept their composure really well, and we've talked about how they are a little bit more experienced just in terms of the gel of their team. They have a lot of returning talent from last season, and that shows in long rallies and being able to stay with a ranked opponent like they are, and now they're tied with them in the third set.
And that was some incredible defense from Penn State. The pancake by Jillian Grimes off the block. And Valduno sending a free ball while sliding to her knees. Doesn't matter, though. The Bison are coming back. They're on a 3-0 scoring run. Carney behind the line. Service pressure from Selman. Out of the back row. Goes for the campfire and gets it. And that was much, much needed for the Nittany Lions, as Gabrielle Nichols will check in for Jillian Grimes. She'll come out.
And Bucknell tried really hard to get a read on that ball. I mean, Bella Rodriguez kept it up, but the refs saw that it would hit the floor.
Bella Rodriguez, 7 digs in the last 6 games, or the last 3 games. So it'll be a service error for Penn State. Only has 4 hit her, a very defensive one. Back tied at 19 after the service error. So it'll be Caitlin Taylor to serve, the Kissimmee, Florida native. Penn State looking to get some points, string them together, and get the win. Lyon to Ewing, and got it down going cross court. Alexis Ewing up to 9 kills on 15 attacks.
There was so much speed on that ball. I mean, over there at the corner, the ref just had to try to get out of the way, but pointed down that, yes, it did hit the floor.
Our referees, Alex Sadler and Mark Dwyer, on the sides. Those are the line judges for tonight's game. Chuck Fleet and Kurt Fulmer at the net. Free ball from Frazelis. Out to Mendelson, covered by O'Connell. Kostic trying to get off the block. Grimes gets the dig. Selman winds up for it on the line. Got it! What a kill from Emmy Selman. Penn State back up 2.
I mean, she has just been having an absolute stellar night. She's painting the outside edges really well, seeing the ball really well, which is one of the most important things when you go up, and now she has double-digit kills.
And that was an awkward set too, but was placed perfectly for Selman to wind up and get the back row kill. The refs double as custodian. They'll towel off a bit.
Don't see that every day.
Very well-rounded refs tonight.
Versatile across the board.
Yes.
Both teams, the referees.
Yeah, dual sport.
Jack trying to get a ball out there.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. And it looks like someone on Bucknell was in the net as Mendelson tried for the swing. So now Penn State stringing some points together. And a timeout from Jeremy Young and Bucknell. As they're down 3, Penn State 3 points away from getting the sweep. Don't go anywhere. You're watching women's volleyball on a 3-0 scoring run, and they're 3 points away from taking a sweep over the Bucknell Bison in a battle of Route 45. Take a look at the Bison's upcoming schedule. Canisius, Mercyhurst, and Binghamton in quick succession. 3 games in 2 days, and then Lehigh and Lafayette, some more in-state opponents. On the side of Penn State, they got a biggie coming up. They're trying to get revenge on the Pittsburgh Panthers after getting swept by them out in the Steel City last year. And then Princeton and Central Michigan in the Penn State Classic. And then Big Ten play starts with 2 California teams coming to town in USC and UCLA. A lot of fun volleyball coming up.
Absolutely, for both sides. I mean, some tough schedules ahead as we start to get into the heart of the season and Big Ten play for the Nittany Lions.
But I can't wait. It's going to be a blast.
I'm excited.
So happy to be back in Rec Hall. Lied off the serve. Cautious on the swing and got it through Ewing and Mendelson. As they jumped a bit too early on the swing, Bucknell gets a point back.
A much-needed point for the Bisons. At this point, it's just time to try to tick one back here and there, try to tie it up, and try to get that momentum back after the timeout.
Lions set for Mendelson. Slow speed, getting it over the defense. Penn State just 2 away from the sweep. Penn State team that led the Big Ten in kills per set last year. The last time they beat Bucknell, it was on a 29-set win streak.
Wow.
In a 2000 season where they were swept by USC in the Elite 8, a year removed from their first national title in 1999. Frazelis gets roofed by the freshman Nichols, and it's match point for the Nittany Lions.
There was just so much height on that block. I mean, the blocking game for Penn State has been stellar. Their 9th block of the day, and now we're just 1 point away from the victory.
Bucknell will call a timeout beforehand. We'll keep it here, though. It is match point. And what did Penn State do right in those last few rallies? Because it really seemed like Bucknell, it was all coming up their way, and Penn State, again, just being resilient and bouncing back.
I think you said it best. It was the resiliency of Penn State so far. Bucknell keeping their composure in this 3rd set, which is really hard to do, especially when you take a look at that 2nd set numbers. I mean, 25-10, a lot went right for Penn State in that 2nd one, but the Bisons come out of it. They say it's our time to win this set, and they put up 20 on the board for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Bucknell, a much more disciplined team against Oral Roberts back on Saturday. They did not have as many kills as Oral Roberts did, but Oral Roberts committed 32 errors to Bucknell's 13. That helped them get the 4-setter win against ORU, and now coming against Penn State, while they're just a point away from getting swept, they have shown their might and they have shown their grit against a Power 4 team.
And I think that speaks volumes for them and the rest of the schedule, although it's looking like they may not get the victory tonight, though we'll have to see. They showed up and they played well.
Ava Jaravicius, little sister to Caroline, in the game behind the line to serve for Penn State. Appeared in her first collegiate start against New Hampshire, the 3-time state champion in high school, 2 in Nebraska, 1 in Ohio. Pops it over. Tucker tries to shove it through. Lyon sets for Selman on the pin. Overpass recycled. Back to Selman for the win. Can't do it that time. Frazelis off the hands. Lyon to Mendelson for the free ball. Tucker set back, kept in the air. And too many touches. Penn State will take it. It's a sweep over the Bison. They win it 25-20. 1,
2.
Are they counting that as the 4th? Because it looks like Lloyd gets above O'Connell.
I see.
Tough to see from this angle, but that's probably what Jeremy Young's looking at.
You're absolutely correct. They're seeing if Lloyd and O'Connell touched it almost like at the same time. Right there where our replay team stopped it. Is that 1 touch or is that 2 touches?
Because O'Connell's underneath it. We're getting the call. And it is point. Penn State, it is a win for Penn State. A little bit delayed, but a win nonetheless. The Nittany Lions, the number 12 team in the land, goes to 4-3 on the season.